Welcome, dear viewers, to an extraordinary journey of a man caught in a cosmic horror, right in his humble hometown. Get ready to experience the chilling tale of the unearthly harvest, an alien nightmare. If you think you know what lurks among the stars, think again. Hold on tight and prepare yourself for a tale that will make your blood run cold and force you to question what truly lies beyond our world. Remember, in space, no one can hear you scream. In the calm and uneventful town of Havenwood, everyone knew everyone else. Among the modest population was Jack, an astrophysicist who held a healthy cynicism about life beyond the stars. His life was as predictable as the orbits of the celestial bodies he studied: wake up, go to the observatory, return home, sleep, and repeat. The comfort of his routine was as soothing as the night sky he loved to observe. The townsfolk of Havenwood were a simple group of people who appreciated the peace and tranquility their town offered. Life there was straightforward. The buzz of the city was a distant memory for most, replaced by the rhythmic hum of crickets on warm summer nights. Yet, on one particular evening, an odd stillness had befallen Havenwood. The usual nocturnal serenade was absent, replaced by an eerie silence that lingered like a ghost. Even the stars seemed to hide, as if intimidated by some unseen force. That same night, Jack was immersed in his work, scrutinizing the mysteries of the cosmos from the observatory. The instruments hummed and whirred around him, a familiar orchestra to his symphony of discoveries. Suddenly, his brow furrowed at the sight of an anomaly on his computer screen. A strong signal was dancing on the display, a powerful frequency that he couldn't match with any known celestial object. "Must be a glitch," he mumbled, giving the screen a dismissive tap. He had spent his life looking for order in the universe, finding comfort in the predictable laws of physics. The idea of unexplained phenomena didn't sit well with him, least of all when they hinted at extraterrestrial life. But as he resumed his work, he couldn't shake off a creeping feeling of unease, as if his safe and predictable world had started teetering on the edge of a terrifying unknown. Outside the observatory, the town's electric grid flickered inexplicably. Streetlights blinked uncertainly, and TV screens buzzed with static. The whispers began to rise, unease spreading among the townsfolk as if the very air was charged with a strange energy. Their sleepy town felt different somehow, its placid personality suddenly layered with an unsettling alter ego. Back in the observatory, Jack kept his gaze locked on his screens, the strong signal dancing like a ghost in the machinery. The quiet hum of his machines now seemed more like a hushed whisper, an ominous secret he was struggling to decode. Jack's world, as he knew it, was about to spiral into an abyss of terror that would blur the lines between his long-held skepticism and a reality more horrifying than he could ever imagine. As dawn broke, painting a false picture of tranquility, Jack decided to ignore the anomalies, attributing them to an error in his equipment. Little did he know, this would be the last peaceful dawn Havenwood would see in a while. The universe was about to reveal a truth so daunting that it would shake the foundations of Jack's reality and shatter the quiet normalcy of the small town he called home. As days turned into weeks, an unsettling aura enveloped Havenwood. Local livestock started to vanish, and strange lights, like spectral dancers, were seen in the night sky. Whispers of the inexplicable grew louder as fear crept into every household. In contrast to his nature, Jack found his skepticism being eroded by curiosity. The untraceable signal on his equipment, which he had initially dismissed, was not only persisting but growing stronger. It was a siren song, inexplicable, and undeniably captivating. A shocking incident intensified the building tension. Jack's close friend, Paul, a cheerful and robust lumberjack, disappeared without a trace. The town launched a desperate search, but it was as if the earth had swallowed him whole. Days later, he reappeared, wandering the edge of town, confused and disoriented. He couldn't explain his disappearance, his memory a black void. His once vibrant personality was replaced by a haunted look and a silence that was unsettling. Jack, shocked by the transformation, started investigating, driven by a fear he couldn't voice yet. He began at Paul's log cabin, which was eerily untouched, a frozen tableau of the day Paul disappeared. Digging further, Jack discovered strange markings around the area where Paul was found, geometrical, intricate patterns that were inexplicably perfect in their precision. They looked eerily similar to crop circles he had once ridiculed as hoaxes. As he researched more, he found striking resemblances to unexplained phenomena associated with alleged alien encounters. What was previously laughable was now terrifyingly plausible. The strong signal, the unexplained disappearances, the odd lights in the sky, Paul's strange behavior, the pieces were starting to form a chilling picture. For the first time, the unfathomable vastness of the cosmos scared Jack. But fear was a catalyst to his scientific curiosity. He couldn't just stand by, he had to decipher what was happening. Meanwhile, the situation in Havenwood deteriorated. The once harmonious community was now held together by threads of fear and anxiety. More townsfolk disappeared, only to reappear days later, just like Paul, their vibrant personalities replaced with haunted demeanors and lost memories. The night sky, once a source of comfort and awe, now held an ominous presence, with the strange lights becoming more frequent. Jack's world was turning upside down. He witnessed the surreal as reality, friends turning into strangers, an ordinary town plagued by extraordinary events, and an inexplicable signal that seemed to be the epicenter of it all. He felt a heavy responsibility, both scientific and personal, to solve the mystery that was unfolding in his once peaceful town. Every night, he worked tirelessly, tracking the mysterious signal, piecing together the puzzle with trembling hands. Jack knew the truth was close. Yet, he also knew that the truth might bring more terror than relief. The skeptic's denial was now a thin veneer over the horrific possibility of an alien presence. His rational mind grappled with the fear of the unknown, the concern for his town, and the dreadful realization that the line between science fiction and reality was blurring more than ever. The escalating events were not just unexplainable, they were extraterrestrial. As the pieces of the puzzle slowly came together, Jack realized he was racing against time. His quaint town, the people he had grown to care for, were unknowingly tangled in a cosmic web of horror. Jack had to unravel the truth and confront his deepest fears. The skeptic in him had vanished, replaced by a terrified yet determined man. The town of Havenwood was under siege by a terror from the stars. It was time to face the invaders. One evening, Jack's equipment spiked dramatically, the signal so potent it was almost deafening. With trepidation gnawing at his gut, he followed the signal's lead, driven by the instinctual urge to protect his town. The trail led him to the heart of the dense forest that bordered Havenwood. The scene that unfolded before him in the eerie forest clearing was straight out of a nightmare. Grotesque, insect-like creatures were engaged in a horrific ritual. The missing townsfolk, including Paul, stood in a trance-like state, their faces vacant. The creatures were implanting the entranced townsfolk with strange, pulsating objects, their bodies convulsing with every implantation. His heart pounded in his chest as he looked on in horror. Suddenly, a metallic taste filled his mouth, and a blinding light seared his eyes. One of the alien beings had spotted him. Time seemed to slow as it approached him, its antennae glowing ominously. Jack felt a cold touch on his arm and looked down to see a strange, glowing symbol etched into his skin. Panic surged through him as he fled, the alien's chilling shriek echoing in his ears. Back in his home, he trembled, the echoes of the alien horrors replaying in his mind. His skepticism had not just been shattered, it was replaced by the terror of knowing what lurked in the cosmos. Jack's mundane life had spiraled into an unimaginable nightmare. His friends, his community, were in the grip of these monstrous extraterrestrials. Despite his terror, Jack knew he couldn't let his town be consumed by this unearthly threat. As the horror of his discovery sank in, he began devising a desperate plan. The mysterious signal, the strange symbol on his arm, and the horrified state of his friend had painted a grim picture. The alien creatures were not just visitors, they were invaders. Havenwood was under attack. As he wrestled with the knowledge of the alien invasion, Jack's mind buzzed with a single, powerful thought: he had to stop them. A daunting challenge lay ahead, the very survival of his town hanging in the balance. The once dismissive scientist was now a reluctant hero in a battle against horrors from the stars. His fear had to take a backseat, Havenwood needed him. The true terror was just beginning, and Jack was at its epicenter, carrying the burden of a truth no one was prepared for. The following days were a blur of adrenaline and desperation. Jack worked tirelessly, studying the strange symbol on his arm and connecting it to the alien signal he'd been tracking. It didn't take him long to realize that the symbol served as a beacon, a homing device. It allowed the aliens to track him, but it also gave him an insight into their technology. Through sleepless nights and countless failures, he discovered the aliens were using a form of psychic communication, their minds bound together by the strange symbols and the signal he'd been receiving. It was a horrifying realization, knowing his thoughts could be tapped into, his every move watched. Despite the terror, Jack saw this as an opportunity. If he could manipulate the signal, disrupt the psychic network, he might be able to throw the aliens into disarray. He repurposed his equipment, creating a device capable of broadcasting a frequency that could scramble the alien signal, disrupt their communication, and hopefully free the townsfolk from their trance. The night he decided to test his device was a night of terrors and triumphs. As he activated the device, the symbol on his arm blazed painfully. The signal spike was immediate and overwhelming. Yet, amidst the searing pain and the disorienting rush of thoughts, Jack felt a moment of victorious clarity. His device had worked, the alien psychic network was disrupted. In the heart of Havenwood, chaos ensued. The once entranced townsfolk stumbled around, disoriented but free from the alien control. The night sky erupted with the frenzied movements of the alien craft, its lights flashing erratically. Jack's triumph, however, was short-lived. He felt a psychic tug, a signal far stronger than the rest, and he realized his victory had not gone unnoticed. The symbol on his arm flared brightly, and a cold dread washed over him. The aliens were aware of his actions, and they were coming for him. Shadows moved rapidly outside his house, the alien beings converging on his location. Desperation gripped Jack. He had successfully disrupted their signal, but at a high cost. He was marked, a beacon for these extraterrestrial horrors. His device, initially his weapon against the invaders, had become a call-out for his capture. Horrifying visions filled his mind as the aliens tried to retake control, his surroundings morphing into nightmarish scenes. Jack struggled against the psychic invasion, trying to maintain his hold on reality. He had brought a momentary respite for his town, but his personal nightmare was far from over. With the signal's strength growing and the strange symbol on his arm blazing, Jack knew he was running out of time. But he also knew he was the only one who could end this nightmare. The once skeptical scientist was now caught in a battle with a terror beyond his comprehension, a war not of his making but one he was determined to end. His quiet town of Havenwood was relying on him, and he wouldn't, let them down. As the alien creatures closed in on his house, Jack made a desperate decision. He recalibrated his device to broadcast a signal overload, a frequency so potent it could cause the aliens excruciating pain. As he activated the device, the symbol on his arm flared, mirroring the intensity of the signal being broadcasted. The effect was instantaneous. The night was pierced by a cacophony of alien shrieks, their psychic network overloaded with blinding pain. The advancing creatures halted, writhing in distress. Jack watched in horrified fascination, his mind ringing with the echo of their torment. Suddenly, the night was filled with the thunderous roar of approaching helicopters. The signal overload had not only affected the aliens, but it had also alerted the military. Just as an alien reached for him, a hailstorm of bullets descended upon the invaders. The alien shrieked, its grip on Jack loosening. As more military personnel flooded the scene, the aliens retreated, their ship disappearing into the starless sky. The next morning, Havenwood was a town reborn from the ashes of terror. The sun shone on bewildered military personnel and disoriented townsfolk. Jack, our reluctant hero, stood amidst it all, wearied but triumphant. The terror had passed, but the scars it left were deep and real. Jack's cynicism was shattered, replaced by the knowledge of the otherworldly horrors that lurked in the cosmos. He was hailed as the town's savior, a label he accepted with a wry smile. Havenwood had been saved, but at a cost. As the town slowly healed, life began to regain some semblance of normalcy. But for Jack, things would never be the same. He had stared into the abyss of the unknown, battled extraterrestrial horrors, and had come out the other side forever changed. The unearthly harvest, an alien nightmare, ended not with a triumphant celebration, but with a chilling reminder that the universe held horrors beyond comprehension. The once quiet nights of Havenwood were no longer a blanket of tranquility, but a silent testament to the alien terror they had survived. And for Jack, the starry expanse he once viewed with a skeptic's eye now held terrors and wonders that forever bound him to the cosmos in ways he could never have imagined. The tale of the unearthly harvest, an alien nightmare, has come to its close, but the chilling reminder of what lies in the unknown reaches of the cosmos remains. We hope this story left you with a sense of awe and a frisson of fear. Remember, the universe is vast and full of mysteries yet to be unraveled. Before we leave, if you enjoyed this cosmic horror journey, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Stay tuned for more thrilling tales that explore the limits of your imagination. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies, and remember, not all that glitters in the night sky is a star.